Hey guys, it's me KSMR here, and today I'm going to be reading an Ushijima Wakatoshi X-Listener. This one is titled Ushiwaka, and without further ado, let's get right on into the video. Before I start, this is a 3-part series, so let's hope I finish the series, guys, and now, without further ado, let's get right on into the video. He waited patiently on the sidelines of the gym near the entrance. It was almost time for the Shiratorizawa Academy's volleyball team to end its practice match. There were many students on the sidelines watching the practice match between another college-level team, though most of them already knew the outcome. As always, your school's team would be beating the college team. You didn't know much about volleyball, though you were trying to learn some, so you had more you could relate to your boyfriend. Ushijima Wakatoshi was Shiratorizawa's prize captain, #1 ace of Miyagi Prefecture, and your boyfriend. Why he came to be your boyfriend, you didn't even know. Ushijima had been the one to confess to you. Well, it was more like he was stating the fact when he told you. In the beginning of your 3rd year, you had just stared at him blankly while your friends and classmates whispered behind you. You had agreed to date him, and that led to a relationship. The entire school year had talked about this nonstop for a few weeks. The students would whisper whenever you walked by and point. Fans of Ushijima would come up to you and ask how you managed to snag the top ace. You were clueless as to what everyone else was talking about and why he suddenly confessed. You weren't even in the same class all 3 years of high school. Of course, you knew Ushijima. It wasn't hard to not know him it was hard to not know him if you went to Shiratorizawa Academy. You had heard about the great, amazing captain who had led the school to victory every year from your friends and general gossip. You had been to one of their games and had seen him play. You were interested by his skill. You liked to be in your own world and didn't care much about sports in general, so you didn't go to another game. Still, you agreed to go out with him because you felt like you couldn't turn him down, not in front of everyone, and you wanted to observe the top ace in his natural habitat. Though you didn't expect much from the date, you enjoyed his company, and the man was of few words. You had found that he wasn't one to beat around the bush, and he said what was on his mind. Sometimes what came out of his mouth was plain rude, but it was refreshing for someone to not sugarcoat anything. Plus, you couldn't figure him out as easily as you could other people. All of your observation skills didn't help as you were trying to figure out the male. You two had been together for around a year and a half, You two had been together for almost half a year. Ushijima Wakatoshi intrigued you, and you wanted to figure out what made him tick, why he wanted to go out with you. It was like an experiment to you to observe his behavior and the things he said. Perhaps that's why the two of you made such a balanced couple. He was to the point and serious, and you were analytical and observant. Neither of you two were overly emotional, nor did you feel the need to be overtly affectionate. You didn't complain when he had spent more time on his volleyball, nor were you clingy or easily jealous of other girls fawning over him. He wasn't bothered by when you didn't show up to his games, and appreciated that you weren't one to pry. It was a perfect relationship, at least from your viewpoints, it was perfect. Time skip, I think. It just has lines, so I'm just gonna assume. Congrats on the win, he said. The two of you were walking home together. As it turned out, he both lived in the same general direction. They weren't that good, he stated bluntly. Shouldering your bag, he shrugged. They seem to be good enough for me. You don't know much about volleyball, he pointed out. True. His comment rolled off as you were used to his tactlessness. Hey, can we go to the bakery? They're having a special time sale on a limited pastry, and I'd like to get one this year. He nodded. Sure. Once you were at the bakery, he stared at the mess of people that were trying to shove each other out and get their way in. Sighing, you turned to him. I guess we'll have to wait next year. Let's just go home. Instead of following you, the tall male went directly into the bakery without a word. You watched as he was swallowed by the crowd. Standing outside, you leaned against the building. You pulled out your phone to check the time. A shadow blocked the sunlight above you. A shadow blocked the sunlight above you. A boy hovered over you with his hand against the wall next to you. "Hey, cutie," he greeted with a smirk. His hair was bleached and it was a spiky... His hair was bleached and it was in a spiky undercut. You caught a flash of metal in his mouth. You stared at him blankly. "You're invading my personal space." He continued to smirk. "I'm Terashima Yushi, a second year at Jozenji High. What's your name, cutie?" You put your phone away, and you ducked under his arm. "None of your business. Now leave me alone." "Ooh, I love a feisty girl. It's kinda hot." He stalked toward you, and you backed up. "Give me your number. Maybe we can go out sometime." "I have a boyfriend. Plus, I don't find you interesting enough to want to observe. Now please." You collided into a solid chest, which made you stop talking. Looking up, you saw a boy with brown hair staring down at you. The boy suddenly threw his arm around your shoulder. "Sorry for keeping you waiting, sweetheart." You just stared at him, but looked back at Terashima, who just scoffed. "Ah, I guess I'll leave you and your boyfriend alone. If you ever get bored of him, come look for me." He grinned before scampering off. Moving away from the brown-haired boy, you noticed another man who had spiky black hair standing next to him. "Thank you for the help," he bowed politely. "I'm always happy to help a damsel in distress. My name's Haikyuu," he said with a charming smile. You furrowed your brows at the name. "Haikyuu? Are you from Abajosai High?" He smiled. "I am. So you've heard of me?" He looked pleased. Nodding, you thought of him, or you looked at him thoughtfully. "I remember reading about you in a magazine. I remember reading about you in a magazine, I believe. You're supposedly an amazing setter." "I am," he said with a smug smile on his face now. "Come on, Trashikawa, time to get going." The dark-haired male growled, seemingly annoyed. So mean, Iwa-chan. I can't help if people recognize me and my amazing setter abilities." He pouted, and it looked rather childish to you. Last name. You turned to see Ushijima coming back with a pastry box in hand. Going over to him, he peeked inside of the box. "You got it? Thank you, Ushijima." You gave him one of your rare, heartfelt smiles. "Of course, anything for you." He patted your head. Noticing the shell-shocked males, he quirked an eyebrow. "Haikyuu, what are you doing here?" Snapping out of his shock, the brown-haired male glared at him. "That's my line. Why the hell are you here, Ushiwaka?" "He was getting a special pastry for me." You answered before you could speak. The center stared at you, and then the ace. You're dating Ushiwaka?" He looked like he couldn't believe it. "Ushiwaka?" You looked back at your boyfriend, whose face didn't change from his passive expression. Last name and I have been dating for a while. Why does it matter to you, Haikyuu?" Ushijima asked, genuinely curious. It doesn't." Haikyuu scrunched up his nose. Turning to his partner, he said, "I think we should go, Waidame." The two almost ran off, as if being near the other man was bad for their health. "Do you know them well, Ushijima?" "That Haikyuu is a talented setter. He should have come to Shiratorizawa," was his reply. Taking the box from him, the two of you headed home. "Ushiwaka," you said, as if seeing how it felt coming off of your tongue. The ace glanced at you. "Please don't call me that." Okay, that was kind of cute. I like how they had Terashima being like the creep that he is, when literally the video I posted earlier today was a Terashima reader. That's funny. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. I like how they were all shocked. Like, he was just like, "You're dating Ushiwaka?" Like, yeah, babe, I am. And what about it? Exactly. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Look out for the next 2 parts. When I'm going to post it, I don't know, because I want to try to catch up on some of my other series, like the Suna one, and I haven't posted All By Myself With You in a month, so I think I'm going to have to do that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know notified every single time I post a video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!